Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see all your smiley faces. We've got a major nor'easter and a big snowstorm coming up this way. It's building. It's going to come up the coast and it's going to wallop this area here, the northeastern United States. So we're getting ready for that. It's going to happen again for those of you who are watching live. Again, if you're watching this 6 months from now, this will be past tense. But for those of you watching live right now, yeah, big storm coming. They're talking like a foot of snow or something. So everybody be careful out there. Hey, gang, it's nice to have you here. This is your first time watching our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. I'm your host, Jim Masters. You guys know I work in television and radio professionally. And we started this show, some 630 episodes again, to bring in some light, love, levity, and our famous levity, bring everybody together with entertainment and poignant conversations, lots of surprises, and so much more with guests that come in from all over the world, from all genres of wealth and health and life and you name it. We cover it all here, from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, health and science and food, everything, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, and everything in between. Celebrity friends joining us as well. Matter of fact, we have a very special guest joining us from New Jersey, reality television star and personality, actor, also a luxury real estate agent. I bet you didn't know about that when it comes to our very special guest, Maximo Gianfranco Sorrentino. Now, he's joining us from New Jersey, and you probably remember a lot of the cool things that he's been a part of. Of course, the very popular reality show starring him and his family, the Sorrentinos, very well received. The whole family really involved in that, but he's been involved in a lot of other productions. We'll talk about these in just a second, just maybe refreshing your memory on some of the work that he's been involved in. Yeah, that one was on Lifetime. I know a lot of you like to watch the Lifetime network, on TLC as well. The WE Network. Yeah, he's been involved in like all of these incredible shows on television, stage, film, and so much more. He's been doing this for a long time, and we're really excited to have him here on the show. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, and there's some exciting new things for this year that he has created. He's an entrepreneur as well, and he's created a whole slew of cool things. He grew up in New York City and Staten Island, and he always wanted to perform. At the age of 8, he was cast in the role of young Peter Baker in that cult film we just showed you the cover for, Sleepaway Camp. That was back in '83. Maximo always wanted and believed that he would be a star. Later, he and his family moved to New Jersey, where he went to college and earned a bachelor's degree in finance from Kean University in Union, New Jersey. He studied acting in New York. He appeared in several episodes of the popular MTV reality series Jersey Shore, of course, as Maximo's younger brother is Mike, the Situation from, of course, Jersey Shore. Mike's the Situation Sorrentino. Maximo makes his return and has in the Sorrentinos, and that was the whole family reality drama. And that was on Pop Network, and CBS Viacom Company. The Sorrentinos series followed the entire Sorrentino family, who were in the midst of, at the time, major life changes as well. And it was really a cool series. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but he made his return to acting in the film Blood Reservoir, Caesar, Ottos Paranormal Halloween, celebrity guest appearance on the season 3 finale of I Killed My BFF on the Lifetime Movie Network, celebrity guest appearance on Say Yes to That Dress on TLC Network season 13, episode 3. Also, he and the family appeared on the Wendy Williams show. They also celebrated the Sister Melissa's wedding in season 14, episode 19 of Say Yes to the Dress, The Big Day, which was on TLC, and lots more. The first in the Sorrentino family to be cast in the New York City Off Broadway play My Big Gay Italian Funeral for 3 seasons. And he returned to reality television with his 2 brothers, Michael and Marc, in the most extreme relationship therapy, marriage boot camp reality stars, Family Edition on WEtv. And he returned to the mansion with his 2 brothers to learn how to preserve their brotherhood before it's too late. And he's involved with several films set for production and working developed a wonderful health and wellness nutritional supplement line, and so much more. That is just the short list, gang, of some of the things that our very special guest is up to here. And we are very excited to welcome him to the show. So put your hands together, folks. Thanks again for all of I see a lot of comments coming in, which is really cool. We always check and we see a bevy of comments coming in. You can comment live if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Jim Masters TV, where we house all the episodes of our series. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our fantastic episodes, live just about 7 days a week. The YouTube channel is what you're watching right now, Jim Masters TV. And if you want to comment live, make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can comment live as well. You can also comment later on the YouTube channel itself, right underneath this episode, underneath this video, and give this episode a like, a hearty like as well. It lets us know that you're enjoying what we're doing here. We're going to check in with our viewers, the Loveities, and see some of their comments throughout the show. But first, joining us from New Jersey in a really cool chair, Maximo is here. Hey, Maximo, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey,
how are you?
What's going on there?
That chair, that office setting, you look like you're in the penthouse and you're the CEO.
Thank you very much. Actually, this is my home office in my house. It's kind of cool because the wall behind me, I don't know what you could see, but it has sort of like, I call it the wall of accomplishments, where it has pretty much everything that, I did growing up as a child, from Sleepaway Camp, to, the Sorrentinos, or any reality show that we've done, or Jersey Shore, or even, I don't know if you can see right there in the corner of me, where it's in the red area, there's like a Beanie Baby and things like that. I made like a time capsule. And it has everything that I may have had growing up, from Beanie Babies to when I had gotten braces. They gave me impressions for my teeth. So it's sort of like, capsulized everything. It's really a great conversation piece. I've when people ever come into my office, they're like, wow, it's really cool. Like, what is that? And you could go up to the little area and pull it out. And if you want to snuggle with the Beanie Baby, you could snuggle with the Beanie Baby on the couch.
That's really, really cool. How
Yeah.
old were you when you had those braces?
Probably 15, 16 years old.
That's about when I got it, like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And so there was parts of high school where I had them on, and I was like, couldn't we have done it like earlier, maybe when I was 8 or 9? But the dentist had said, no, the teeth weren't ready yet. So, so did you do a lot of pictures like this?
I have very few pictures of braces. That was a time period that I did not want to remember, but so that's my therapist has said, a suppression and repression. I think that's suppressed all the way in the back. That time period with the braces.
Exactly.
But
so how have you been during this crazy time? You're an entertainer, you're an actor, you like to be out there. You've done television and film and stage work and luxury real estate, a whole host of cool things as an entrepreneur growing up in, the tri-state area like I did, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area, go-getter. How have you been with everything, with the crazy time of the pandemic and all?
It's as you mentioned it, it is a very uncertain times, or I like to say, it's crazy times we're living in. But it's something that, I guess, if he brings you to it, God will get you through it.
Yes.
That's the best thing I could say, is that, you try to live every day saying, what could I do? Or, even I myself had my own COVID scare.
Yeah.
I was sick for a while. I try to remain socially distanced as I can.
Yes. Yes. So what was that like to experience sort of a little of what might have been the COVID thing?
I was in the hospital for a while. I was in the
were.
hospital for probably maybe almost 4.5 weeks.
Wow. Yes.
Between, in 2 different facilities
Hmm.
in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then when I did come home, it took me a while to recover. It took me a while to feel better, to regain my strength. And even now I'm just feeling, like more like, all right, now I'm going to, start working out more in the house. I put a home fitness area in my home. So, I want to, I just saw, at least I see all the comments scrolling through. It's pretty cool.
I mean, all our Loveities are tuning in, saying
Yeah,
hello
I see
and
that. Yeah, it's pretty
welcoming
cool.
you. They already said you're a lovety, my friend. That's kind of cool, huh?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, it's not easy. You know, I think the COVID. I went to Florida right before the holiday, and not far from Fort Lauderdale and Miami, and
Hmm.
you had no idea that it was. I was the only one walking around with like a face mask on in certain places. Like you didn't
Yeah.
realize from New Jersey to Florida, regarding a face mask, but it's important. You know, you have to protect yourself and protect everyone around you.
Yes. Did it stop any of the projects, any of your work, anything that you were in the midst of doing? A lot of people I've talked to, especially in the arts, they've been saying things like, well, back on March, that fateful day in March when things started closing, their world stopped. How about for you back in March of 2020? Did the world stop or did you still have a lot of things cooking?
That's a good question. So back in March of 2020, you are right. It seems like I was actually living in New York at the time. I was living in New York. It's something I always wanted to do. And then somehow I ended up back in Jersey, like right after that. But that was right around the time where I remember going out to a nightclub maybe the night before, a lounge, and the next day, it seemed that someone pushed the button on New York City area where they were shutting down bridges and tunnels, and first hearing the word quarantine and masks everywhere. I mean, it was new to us, and something now that wow, there's a lot of people coming through here.
Dwight says Maximo was also great in Marriage Boot Camp. Yes, they remember everything. They remember everything. Yeah.
But yes, to answer your question, a few things, like a few of the movies that I was supposed to set in production, they they were put on hold, and a lot of times even some of the actors, or even for production things like that, they had contracted it, or they need to spend time helping their families. So
Yes.
this COVID-19 has really changed and altered even the way that we do things,
Yes.
even just the way that you think of things now. It's changed our lives.
Absolutely has. It really has. I got to tell you, Maureen in Arizona says that your chair wins the Awesome Award. They love that chair you're in.
Listen,
Mar-
if
yeah.
you want it, we can manufacture it.
Yours- It could be a Maximo special. That's right. Exactly.
No, it's not a bad idea.
I was going to say, absolutely.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah, it was really, yeah, it looks fantastic. And they're all talking about it as well. It looks like Linda in Florida says it looks like a Star Trek. It does look like something from Star Trek, doesn't it? Yeah.
You kind of feel like you could sit in the chair and you could take off for a bit. So yeah.
Yes. David loves your comment. Welcome, David. That is an awesome statement. God will get you through it. Yes. Have you turned to God in many times in your life to get through crazy situations?
I have.
Yeah.
I you know, that's a very good question. Because something like COVID, or any type of a life circumstance, um, you either people turn to something. Um, they turn to either God, a higher power, or they turn to a family member or a loved one, or they turn to different substances. There's
Yes.
something to help them get through it. And to answer your question, yeah, I really have. That's why I try to remain very positive, take everything as it comes, and like I said, if God will lead you to it, He'll lead you through it. It may feel uncomfortable at the moment, but uncomfortable is it's a form of change. It's a form of you growing, and it took me a lot of bumps and bruises to learn that along the way.
Yes. How did growing up in Staten Island, you grew up on one island, I grew up on the other, Long Island, out east on Long Island. Uh, how did you guys get involved? How did you get into television and the arts and entertainment? Was that fostered by your parents? How did that all happen for the family and for you, Maximo?
So when I was younger, when I was a child at 8 years old, that's when I had gotten Sleepaway Camp. It
Right.
was a pure accident, and there's still, a huge fan base. I do a lot of conventions. One of my best friends, Felissa Rose, she's still, the keeping the I don't want to say keeping the fans at bay right now, even though it's the convention tours are pretty much slowed down due to COVID. But with that being said, um, starting at 8 years old, it was a pure accident. My mom she wasn't a stage mom. She was the type of person where, she had a little Polaroid photo of me in her wallet. We went to the audition, and I remember sitting there. She takes the photograph of me out of her wallet, and she had to attach it to the resume. And I went in for the audition, and here's all these other uh, child actors who were trying out for the role. They they had professional portfolios, they had resumes, they had agents at 7 and 8 years old. Here I am. I got my mom with me, and
I was
and I
there.
and I and I we have a little Polaroid that was in her wallet. But somehow I was the last cast member cast for Sleepaway Camp, and it was probably just like any type of life experience that definitely changed my life for the better.
Yeah.
At a young age, I was exposed to TV and film, on set.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it like on set that age? You had to really
You know,
did you soak it up? Did you sometimes, when on set, especially when you're a kid, you're so mesmerized by the cameras and the action and all it's like, wow, it's almost like Candyland, like an amusement park. Were you soaking up and watching like what the directors were doing and their producers and sort of like taking notes a little bit, learning the craft as you were in it?
you know what? It's funny you said it, because I look back on that now and I say, what did I learn? And I really did at a young age. I didn't realize that I did learn a lot. Only because you're so caught up in the moment. But when you have a time to reflect and go backwards, and think about, like you mentioned, the different skills that I may have learned, you really did. I really did learn a lot. And like I mentioned, obviously, like I said, it was a lot of trial and error.
Right.
Acting is I went to acting school, and I
Mhm.
also studied some drama and theater. It's a craft, and it's
Yeah.
when you're not in a role, or you're not studying for a role, or you're not rehearsing your lines or something like that, you're not in character. But when you drop into character, it's when become that individual. Your mannerisms, the way you talk, your pitch, the tone of
Yeah.
your voice,
Yeah.
has to exude that so that the audience can understand what you're going through. So, and the character. But Peter Baker from Sleepaway Camp was definitely my first role, and definitely not my last.
Yeah. Not at all. I mean, there's a wealth of things that you were involved in. So would you say the bug bit you early? You really liked it. You're like, hey, I want to do this because you also studied finance too, which I think is very good because you can not only earn the money, but you can manage it as well.
You know what? I did. I studied finance, and I worked on my first job out of college was in I should say when I got my degree was in Wall Street. I was a stockbroker, and but I guess from being a child actor, growing up, and then wanted to just continue it, it's become more of a great hobby now.
Yeah.
It's a passion. You can't, when you something's inside of you, and you're really passionate about it, it
Yeah.
comes out of every pore. But
Right.
that is
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, it really, really is. I want to show folks too, like I was saying, you've been in a wealth of different things, and people may recall some of them. So, as when you were going to school, were you also performing in a lot of different things as you were being educated at the same time, balancing it all,
Yeah.
Maximo?
So that's a good question, and there's a really funny story with that. So when I was filming even Sleepaway Camp, I was young, and I remember being on set, and they had gotten a tutor for me. And this is a running joke in my family that even though it was, I think it was second grade, they were teaching you how to tell time. and I was on set, and I remember being with the tutors, and I had completed. They actually wanted. I was going to Catholic school at the time, and the nuns had wanted to leave me back that semester. My mom went into the school district, and she sat down with the nuns, and she spoke with them, and their decision was to leave me back, and her decision was like, nope, we're going to take him out of the school, and we're going to put him somewhere else. But while I was filming, they went over, how to tell time, with the clock, with the face. Well, to this day, it takes me I can tell time, but I missed that learning experience when I was younger filming, and it still carries through today because I didn't really learn it while I was filming on set. So but to tell you, I was, they did provide schooling or learn distance learning back then, and but even all through college, I did some theater or whatever, and went to school. But it wasn't until I was like more out of school that I did more theater and television.
So as things were rolling along, a lot of opportunities started to really come your way, huh? Did it ever get overwhelming for you? Because you really have had an opportunity to be in a lot of different things. This one as well.
I think the most challenging, Z Dead End, that's in production now. And then there's another film from the same director that I'm really passionate about right after that.
This is exciting, yeah.
Yeah, this is a zombie film right here, where the zombies actually fall from the sky. It's pretty cool. I don't want to give too much away, Robert, the director, if he's listening. But
so this is fresh. You're working on this now, which is exciting.
Z Dead End is currently in production.
Cool.
And then the next film follows it right after that. But there's a lot of work, and I guess the most challenging thing is just basically to stay relevant.
Yes.
And it's even tough now, where if you look at any child stars or anyone that was in any child actors, it's very difficult to transition from a child actor all the way to an adult actor. It's more difficult.
Yes.
If you look at, and then also there are a lot of actors that don't do reality TV. They're just stuck. They stay with just acting.
Right.
So, as I mentioned, as you brought up earlier, that I did theater, I did scripted television, I did and reality TV. So they're all different genres of entertainment, completely different. But when you start out, like you mentioned, at a young age, and to continue going now, the hardest thing that I think is to stay relevant, and because you always feel like you got to reinvent yourself,
right?
And you're it's almost you're your own worst enemy. You're the inner critic in you is the biggest fan, because it's what drives me some days to keep going, or some days to be like, maybe I should change things up a bit. Now I want more privacy, whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to do things for yourself, and you got to make yourself happy.
That's what it's all about. Exactly. That's what it's all about. And having the upbringing and the love and support around is always really, really solid and important too, to sort of push you forward. Here's a couple of Blood Reservoir. There's another
Blood Reservoir.
one. Yeah. Tell us about that. What was it like being involved in that?
So Blood Reservoir was, once again, it was Felissa Rose, myself, and my other castmate from Sleepaway Camp, Jonathan Pearson, and there was other actors in it as well. But Felissa Rose, myself, and Johnny were, I think, the headliner for the film. We took place and filmed in Massachusetts, in Boston. It was a pretty unique film, only because while we were filming it, the director decided to change the entire script midway. And nothing against him. It was a great experience, but I guess midway he decided, he had two different ways that the script could go, and so midway filming it, it was like, all right, stop production. Everybody has a new script, and it was sort of like they were writing the rest of the script as we were going along. And I guess in retrospect, looking back, it's sort of more a little bit like reality TV, because reality TV is more like improv, where when you do regular scripted work, what is on the script gets done, period, the end. but improv is more similar to reality. So this director decided to do a little bit more of an improv take for filming, and it was an interesting experience. And I think that's why it took a little bit longer to go from production to DVD, or production to streaming.
Because of that way of doing it, right? Exactly. And people sometimes don't realize the amount of work that goes into all of it is extraordinary too. The hours put in and everything. Really, really can be quite substantial. Got a couple more things that we want to pull out of the Maximo vault here, which is did a little research and a little digging
go ahead.
along the way. Lifetime, yes, we got a lot of fans that watch Lifetime, and they watch Hallmark Movie Channel Network. And tell us about this, being involved in this.
I Killed My BFF. That was Lifetime, and I think now they call it LMN, which is Lifetime Movie Network.
Movie Network, right?
That was a pretty interesting. If you get a chance to take a look at the series, where they actually reenact murders or any crimes that may have happened, I was pretty like taken back when I was like, wow, this is a real crime here. This is not made up. This is not some writer who made up. This is a real murder that happened here.
It's a real thing, right?
So I played an actor in the I Killed My BFF, and it was a whole series about people who have relationships who go toxic, and someone decides to kill them, to give them the axe. They're like, let's take them out and throw them out in the back river. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but we can get rid of them Sleepaway Camp style. But I'm serious that this was a pretty interesting series, and the production company was amazing for I Killed My BFF, and they were very, very creative at this, because when you think about it, how many people have a best friend? Everybody has best friends, right?
Right.
And how many times does the best friend relationship go bad? Right?
Right.
What do you want to do? People go, I'm gonna kill that person. This show was about it. This is about I Killed My BFF. Anyway, so in retrospect, looking back, but but the whole series was a reenactment of murders that happened between toxic relationships that went bad.
Bad. Yeah.
Jim, if you ever think about killing, someone, we won't put it on TV. You got to think to yourself, Jim, if I kill someone and it goes to trial and they do like a biography on it, you think to yourself, who's going to play me? What actor would play you?
Who would play? Right. Exactly.
Right.
Right. I know. I've always heard Kyle MacLachlan, who was on Desperate Housewives and Twin Peaks and Sex and the City, that we sort of resemble each other. I don't know if it's the English Irish thing, maybe, but maybe he would have to do it, or Christopher Knight, Peter Brady, maybe.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like. It's interesting when you really think about it. You were involved in this too. We mentioned this was actually very special because it was a family situation, right? Tell us about this if folks didn't see it.
Say Yes to the Dress.
Yeah, Say Yes to the Dress. The big day on TLC Network. So
in the Say Yes to the Dress franchise, or the Say Yes to the Dress series, there's the portion where my brothers and I, my family, we actually went to Kleinfeld to help my sister pick out her dress for her wedding, and then there was the big day, which was the big day to me personally was probably one of my favorite episodes, only because it gave you a full 1 hour of everything that went into her wedding, from the bride's perspective, which was my sister, and obviously, her fiance at the time, which is, now they're married, my brother-in-law, Michael. But it really gave the audience a chance to watch how much work goes into planning a wedding. and how much family could play a positive role or negative role in picking out some of the things. So that's that's the key component for that show. And they are true though. It's a say yes to just the big day. The big day is because that's it's someone's most important day of their life, and it's all captured on video for the docuseries. Thinking back to filming it, yes, it was my sister's wedding, and it brings a tear to my eye only because like I remember filming it, and I was crying the whole day. It's just like you would at a normal wedding,
Yes,
but it's like
right.
you have to almost have to like dry your tears for a minute because you got to walk outside. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
there's all cameras, but it is the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very, very cool. And when it's a special, day where everybody's together like that, there's absolutely nothing better than you just happen to share it on national TV, which is a little bit different and quite special as well. Here's another. We talked about this, and I know
Marriage boot camp.
they've been commenting about this a lot too during our conversation here. Tell us about the involvement there.
So, Marriage Boot Camp, reality stars, Family Edition on WEtv. That was a great, unique experience. So it was me and my two brothers, and then there were three other families, I do believe. It was Farrah Abraham, and her mom and dad, who were amazing people. And then it was Ocho Cinco and his mom. Once again, she's an amazing woman, and Ocho Cinco's a great guy. Trying to think, it was Ocho Cinco, it was Farrah, it was me, Marc, and Michael, and it was Kendra and her mom, Patty. Once again, another great entertainment star, Kendra. I think the world of her. The fact is, we all became very close, while filming. You know what I'm saying? We walked onto set, not knowing one another, and we all left knowing everything about one another. And you got a chance to meet their families, which was the cool part.
Yeah.
You got a chance to meet, Chad, Ocho Cinco's mom, I thought she was great, but the other viewers, everybody has a different take on her, on Paula. But it was a unique experience only because for the first time, me and my family were sort of, I guess, put on the spotlight for various social situations, and or things that may have, whether it was our relationship was either toxic, or it was like the Dr. Ish or Dr. V from WeTV. They're amazing therapists, and if I think back to the show, I really did learn a lot. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about relationships. But the most challenging part of the show was, the fact that it is so real that it is your life. And when the camera goes away, those feelings are still there. So, if my brothers may have been mad at me from the show, well, it does transcend into real life. And then it's just picking up the pieces and putting it back together because it is your life. It's just docu style.
Yes. Yes. Was there ever a time where that became very overwhelming, where it was like, gee, I wish today we weren't rolling cameras. I just wish today we weren't documenting everything we're saying and doing and all our feelings and emotions. I would imagine there's times with anybody that is involved in reality television, there are times where you're like, gee, I wish today we didn't have anything happening, just us without the cameras.
That is true. And I think, through the magic of editing, the production company, they can't show everything because you do film 24 hours a day. In theory, obviously when you're sleeping, there's cameras in the bedrooms, but you do film in theory 24 hours a day for almost 2 weeks, maybe even, depending upon the show, 3 weeks. And it is round the clock filming. And there are times where, you get a little frustrated and you may take your headset off, or your mic pack off, or, you don't want the camera, but you have to understand that this is what you sign up for, and this is what makes or breaks the show. And this you got to take a step back and and think to yourself, there are times, like you mentioned, I was like, you know what, I've had enough of the camera. I'm done,
Yeah. Right.
And,
Right.
I did leave. I walked out while we were filming. I grabbed my bags, my luggage, and I was like, I'm done. And I think they even showed a portion of that,
Yeah.
but that was more towards the end because like I said, your feelings are like a Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid comes off,
Yes.
and that's where the therapy comes in, and the therapists actually teach you how to either mend or end the toxic relationship. Do you what brought you here or circumstances, and you have to decide with your family member. Do you want to keep going with this relationship the way it's going, or what can we do to either fix it or part our separate ways? So
Right.
me and my brothers, we did what we could, on set, but just like any family or just like any relationship, you have to work at it. And I guess we've tried to keep working at it for many years, and then I guess here we are today.
Yeah, you're right today. Right. Exactly. Yeah. The world changes as we go along. Also, too, you're involved with this, which is kind of exciting.
My Big Gay Italian Funeral.
Yeah. Off Broadway, huh?
Yeah, that was a very once again a great life experience. I played the role of Dominic, and I played it was because in Broadway there's no retakes. It's everything's live, just like this right now. There's
Just
no
like we're
editing
doing.
at all. Yeah,
Right.
there's no editing. But the really cool part about the Broadway was when I did it. It's like, so my last line as an actor in the script helps it's the cue for the next actor. Well, if I mess up on my line, it messes up the next actor. So you sort of learned your improv skills as an actor really kick in, because even though you may forget your line, or or someone's cue may be off key for a moment, you really have to be able to improv to help your fellow teammate out, or your castmate out, because that individual is going to have to, no choice but to feed off your next line, and that's what makes the whole show. But it was a great experience. I learned a lot about myself. I grew as a person. I made a lot of great friends along the way, and I would do it again.
You would do that again. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
So
I would do Broadway again.
That's cool. So if any producers are listening, there he is. Ring him up.
You're right.
He'll be waiting for you in his captain's chair.
You know what? It's the chair. This chair's a hot seat tonight.
Hey, this chair is a hot. Yes, it's a hot one.
But as I was saying, My Big Gay Italian Funeral also was pretty unique, only because at the time, obviously I played the character. I played the role of Dominic. So Dominic was gay, and Anthony was gay. Anthony is like the lead in the show, but I was not out to my friends or family yet. So like, I remember them coming to opening night to watch the opening show on Broadway, and it was kind of tough to mentally to be like, okay, well, my family doesn't know I'm gay, but it's okay because I'm an actor and I'm playing the role of a gay character, so it's okay tonight that they're here. But in hindsight, looking back, it probably was one of the best experiences for me, because it helped me therapeutically realize, okay, I'm gay, no big deal. My character's gay, so it helped me sort of conceptualize or verbalize maybe feelings that I could not get out prior to that of coming out. So in theory, being an actor has helped me, especially in a show like that, or a Broadway show where it's very truthful and there's no retakes. Looking back therapeutically, it helped me to, when I was able to come out, to talk about it, to verbalize it, to conceptualize it, and to be very positive about it. So that was that's my great takeaway from filming there.
When you did do that, what was the initial reaction from family and friends? Were they supportive? Did they envelop you with support? Or was that a mixed situation?
That was that's a good question. The best way I could explain it is that when I did come out to my family, it was it was right before we filmed boot camp. So then when I did filming for boot camp with WEtv, that was sort of like the first time that fans actually heard it from me on TV. And me and my brothers had a chance to talk about that a little bit on camera. But you know, it's not easy to discuss, only because if you have a difficult time conveying it or conceptualizing it or coming to grips with it yourself, how can you tell your family? Let alone how can you tell millions of people or fans?
Sure.
So when I did tell my family, they were pretty understanding. My brothers and sisters, brother and sister, were very, very understanding. My father, to this day, still does not accept it. That's just the world we live in. I can't please everybody. I'm at the stage in my life where I'm just like, you know what, I want to find a husband. I want to get married. Who knows? Maybe even docu all of that. Share it all. And eventually, I want to adopt and share that as well. My two dads. Remember that show, My Two Dads? Years
Sure.
ago.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then I can put my kid into sleepaway camp. Then I can be that stage. Then I can be that stage dad. But anyway, no. To go back to your question, it was not easy. My mom, she's very, very understanding, and they're all welcoming of it, and they want nothing but health and happiness for me. And they, I think it was a little bit more, she was understanding of it. But when you're an actor, and in my situation, I guess I played the best role of my life. I played the role of a straight guy for 30 plus years. Well, maybe around that, yeah. And because I had a girlfriend, even a wife. We had got married, and it was kind of tough, because people were like, "Wait a minute," scratching their going, "Wait, weren't you married?" But looking back on it now, my family, they are supportive of it, and that anybody that I could help get through it, that's my goal. I'm trying to look at everything as what can I learn from the situation, and now how could I help someone else be more comfortable with it. If I could just help one more person feel more comfortable in their skin to come forward, because the worst thing in the world, and this is my takeaway from it, is to live life and to not feel comfortable with yourself. That's the most, and you don't want to live a life of regret. So if I could help someone feel more comfortable with coming to terms with if they're gay, lesbian, trans, bi, whatever it may be, if they can come to grips with it and they could be comfortable with themselves, then they're going to be able to convey that to their family and friends. And if, I think that's the sort of like an intervention in a way.
Yeah.
And everybody has their story. I've spoken to a lot of fans and a lot of friends, and I get it all the time, and they're like, how did you do it? Or they say, I've read your story, and I'm like, your story inspires me. I tell people, only because like a lot of times I sit back and I listen to someone who's struggling with it, and maybe they are gay, or maybe they don't, or they live in fear, and no one should ever live in fear, and that is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
No one should ever be bullied. No one should ever have a fear or live day to day going, oh, I can't do that, because the fear takes over you.
Right.
And it's not a good feeling. It's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. We'll talk about in a few minutes a new project I have that's near and dear to my heart, where we're going to be supporting the Trevor Project and giving back to helping those that, unfortunately, when people are down, or they're depressed, or they're regarding their sexual orientation, they take to suicide. So my next project is going to help support those so they don't take their life, or they don't, if they need medical treatment, we're going to be able to assist them.
That is very cool. Tell us a little bit more about that, and how can people learn about that? That's
So,
exciting. And
so
kudos to
I'm
you for, stepping forward and paying it forward. That's a cool thing you're doing, Maximo.
oh, thank you very much. So this is a new project that, quite honestly, I'm very, very passionate about. Hold on one second. I have the samples right here. This is like, you guys really can't see the whole magic show here of my office, but
Does that spin around? Does that move your computer or your laptop? Some of the guests, they move things around and they give us a little
yeah, you know what?
tour.
I should have did that. I just realized that. I should have moved the camera out for you guys, but so I don't. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So this right here, these bow ties, I'm gonna take them out because the lighting in my house is like, it's super spotlight.
So it looks like this, right?
Yes, that's it right there. These are actually straight from production.
Very cool.
So this one right here. This was the most bold. So I'm gonna start with the most bold for you, right? And then we have, so this one right here is it's part of a line called I'm putting it to my gay bow ties, but I don't want to call it that. I mean, like that's like the working title for it. But this one right here is pretty cool too, because this one right here supports breast cancer awareness. These are straight from production. Some of the box packaging I'll show you in a second. So these bow ties right here, they're made of silk, and the concept is behind them that each of the bow ties are going to be part of a jewelry line as well, that are going to help those each from the sale of it to be more understanding through education and Project Trevor and give back to the LGBT community. Growing up, I wish that there were more projects out there that help people become more understanding of being gay. As I mentioned earlier, someone like my father, he, to this day, doesn't accept it. Well, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest here. That's not what life's about.
But he still loves you, and you're still his son, and he's still your dad.
Well, I don't know about the love part. Like, this is not Valentine's Day over here, but this is a Valentine's Day. But
I know. I always try to sweeten things up. That's my personality, I guess.
But no, well, listen. No, that is the truth. No, but does he? You know what? Well, you got me there for a second.
I got you. Yeah.
But I have to admit, though, I know he doesn't accept it. No.
That's it.
He doesn't. But you know what? For as much, no, I don't hold him. For as much as he does not accept, I'd rather try to give the world more education, so that maybe there's someone's father or someone's mother doesn't accept them right now, and that person's feeling some pain, and maybe that person's thinking about suicide, which is a terrible thing. And I myself have never felt like that before. Meaning, like, so I can't sit there and say, well, you know what, I personally experienced that, where I've never said, you know what, due to the fact that I'm gay or something like that, I'm going to take my own life. That's a terrible, terrible thing. But Project Trevor is about that. It's about suicide prevention and things of that. So that's what this next portion of my clothing line is going to help. So each from the proceeds from the sale of each bow tie, fan donation will be made to Project Trevor. And what we're going to do is, obviously, we're going to try to educate. It's more educational, because I think when someone does not have the knowledge or the background to understand something, well, especially when their family or friends, and they have a fear of losing them, that's when they seek to take other ulterior measurements. And very, very sad, the statistic rate. I actually knew someone personally. His brother had attempted suicide many times. He was gay, but in hindsight, looking back, he had a very strong bond with his family, and now he's happily married. This individual, he found his life partner in there, and they're happily married. But I think he had attempted suicide like 7 or 8 times. But his story is just several. And when I heard about that, and I put the bow tie together, and I'm like linking it together, so I'm pretty excited for the launch. That's what I've been working on a lot, and it's sort of, for me, more once again, it's therapeutic. I'm at the stage in my life where I want to help me, with what I'm going through, and something like this is probably the best medicine a doctor could write. There's no script for it. The best medicine for me is therapy, helping another person. So maybe I had struggled, or I did struggle for a long time, with my sexuality, and understanding that it's okay to be gay. And now I'm looking for, obviously, the next Mr. Sorrentino. I want to get married. I want to have kids. We're gonna have to adopt. We're gonna have to take whatever measurements it may be, and take his sperm, my sperm, put it together, make a great sperm cocktail, and in vitro, may the best man win. But in theory, no one should ever feel that pain. And the pain comes from social acceptance. And no one should ever feel like they are not being accepted. They have to understand that they need to love themselves. They need to be comfortable with themselves, and they need to understand that they are not alone.
Right.
That there's a community. They're part of a much larger community. And there's a very big outreach, and people out there who are willing to help you on a daily basis, and even whether it's education, or if it's psychological or psychiatric care, that's out there. And this education treatment program, and with Project Trevor, are going to sort of help give back to the community. Whether it's one person at a time or whatever it may be. But that's my heart and soul. So some of the fans, or so Lisa, my publicist or whatever. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, how are you? But it's that's sort of my mantra. Sometimes people get a bad rap, or a and I think it's due to misunderstanding. But everything that I've been through right now, I know, and I just said it before, like, the best script a doctor could write me would be to help someone else.
Which is really,
there's no better feeling, and I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart,
yeah,
is knowing that, like, when you're reading an email or whatever it may be, and someone says, hey, you know what, thank you, or whatever it may be, just those 2 words, thank you, you made me feel more comfortable with myself, or hey, I read your story and it inspired me. And I always go back and say, no, you inspired me. That is the truth. So
there's this too. Tell us about this.
The abduction wine.
Yeah.
So
congratulations on that too. Like I said, you're the entrepreneur for sure.
So you know what? It took many years, or many like I mentioned, trial and error, and it's now just taking, especially with COVID, I have more time, I guess you could say, to spend at home.
Yes.
Where I had and that's exactly it. I had a chance to sort of dig deep and say, okay, well, you know what contacts do I have, or what, I traveled this road of entertainment for many years, and as you mentioned, the world, no surprise of who we are. I'm not saying we're the Kardashians, but we do have a reach, or I do have a reach for fans, and I want to take that reach and help people. The wine, believe it or not, stems for Sleepaway Camp, and it's going to be paired with there's a non-alcoholic beer. It's called Paranormal, like paranormal, but the ALE it means for ale, for beer. So there's a non-alcoholic for kids. It's like a ginger ale, and I think we're doing a root beer as well. But it's still packaged in this really cool packaging. And so at the conventions, well, prior to COVID, the conventions were packed with fans who wanted, autographs, and they would have concession stands, and the concession stands would sell either beer or wine. We're going to try to get this into like whether it's Comic-Con, Wizard World, or something like that, where the kids that come to these conventions will get a chance to have this like really cool, like it doesn't look like a beer bottle. It's more like an old school, like a soda bottle.
Yeah.
Like a Coca-Cola bottle, something like that. So
like the old glass ones. Yeah.
Yes. The best thing I can explain is sort of remember the movie Goonies?
Mm-hmm.
It was like an old 1980s sort of like a film. Anyway, it's got that feeling like Goonies, like the glass.
That's the vibe.
Like that. So
yeah.
Yes, that's the like the inspiration. So it's got like a retro vibe to it. So it's very, very fun. But the wine is it's a Pinot Noir, a Sauvignon Blanc, and the third is a Cabernet. And
cool.
So that's pretty much ready to roll. I think we're gonna release that this summer.
That is cool.
And then so trying to keep busy, trying to keep
clothing.
it real.
I mean,
clothing. I'm telling
and you're
you,
gonna have to sell the chair you're sitting in too, because they want the chair too.
You want to buy the chair? That's going in the home for. You know what? As I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm going. You know what?
Yeah,
maybe I should put the chair.
Yeah.
We should put the chair in the home furnishings line.
There you go. Right.
There's a line of candles. No, it's the truth. The candles are coming out too.
I tell you. Yeah.
But Young Kings is a clothing line, and it goes back to, remember I started off the conversation where I COVID gave me the chance to sit at home and go, okay, sort of like regroup time, it's sort of like the reinvention tour here, what can you take that you've learned from life and either go forward with it or from a positive direction or not. And we did a line years ago, me and my brothers. It was called Luxury Laces, and the creator of Luxury Laces, Jeff George, I reached out to him, and I was like, you probably go see Google photos of all of us. We used to wear these rosary beads, like they were with crosses on them, but they were all blinged out rosary beads and things like that. Well, those it's kind of cool, like sneaker jewelry. Well, the blinged out rosary beads, I called Jeff. I was like, Jeff, I'm like, everything's coming back. Everything's gets a comeback. It's a reboot. I'm like, let's bring back the a little bling, not total blinged out t-shirts. He's like, great idea. So hence Young Kings, because in my family, my mother's side of the family, there's royalty somewhere. So I'm not saying I'm a king, but somewhere in Italy, there's a castle out there with my name on it. So, my mother's last name.
We have that in Sweden too, on my mother's side of the family. My mother's grandmother, the same thing. There's a castle there in Sweden. Yeah, I know. It's kind of cool, huh? Yeah.
I actually
my great grandmother was a princess and grew up with the royal family there.
Oh, really?
It's quite amazing. Yeah. When you dig, right? When you find out these things, it's very cool, isn't it?
Very true. I didn't know. I had no idea about the family history until my uncle had said to me. He's like, in conversation around a year ago. I think he was joking around. But he was serious, my uncle. He's like, you're royalty. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he started to tell me, in his words, he's like, well, he is. So it was my mother's brother. And he said, our family, comes from royalty. And he explained to me about this castle in Italy. And he's like, no, this castle was passed down to generation. And it's still there today. And I said, wow. He's like, no, I said, I want to go to Italy and I want to visit the castle now. I'm like, I want to keep the castle. I said, this is my family. So I said, we got to get this castle. So I gotta have to ask him where this castle is. But my mother's maiden name is and this crest. So the crest from her family is the inspiration for the logo for the Young King. So they're still tweaking it a little bit.
You're
They
still tweaking it.
They put the overlay behind it, and that's the crest that you'll see coming through. Sort of like the top crown part is from George's portion, and sort of like a Stussy.
Very cool.
So it's trying, like I said, trying to take some of the old, some of the new, and piece it together and blend it together. Yeah.
Now, of course, I mentioned in the introduction the series that everybody remembers, of course, the Sorrentinos.
True.
Tell us about that. And of course, your involvement initially with Jersey Shore, which was quite a run, so popular. What was all of that like, being involved in that? Crazy times, of course, but unique to say the least, huh?
Very, very true. I guess I should start out with because you mentioned the Jersey Shore. So we started. Michael had gotten cast into Jersey Shore in season 1. I think it was 2008, 2009, I do believe.
And that's for those watching. That's The Situation. He went by The Situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So my brother Mike, The Situation, got cast. I think it was in 2008 or 2009. They did filming. I don't think anyone knew what was going to transpire. I myself, no one knew until the show first aired, and then it was like, I think not until the episode where Nicole got punched in the face, where the news and the media went crazy, and the show just obviously took off from there. Obviously, Nicole's, you'll watch the show, you'll see, but that was pretty much for me when I remember saying to myself, wow, this show's really taken off. I think that was a few episodes deep, and as the show kept going on for several seasons, my brother's life changed, and all for the whatever, for the positive, whatever life circumstances may have happened, you learn, you grow. But him as a brother to brother or sibling to sibling, or and then obviously my family, we all did cameo or some guest appearances, and even some of the storyline in the original season, the original chapter, which is seasons 1 through 6. And then when the show ended in season 6, we got a chance to do our own show. We did a few pilots prior to that, and at the time, the show was originally slated for MTV. Actually, it was originally slated for MTV, and then TVGN/Pop picked it up, and that was the series, the Sorrentinos. And then, now CBS Viacom owns Pop, so really, in retrospect, they purchased the same show anyway. But when you film with your family, once again, your whole life is out there, So they took our life, and whether it's the good, the bad, whatever it may be, and we docu it. And that's right there. I mean, like, so many fans would. That's the famous, like, just us having dinner. So many fans would say, hey, I want to do Sunday dinner with the Sorrentinos, or, because we always ate dinner together, and we had, we always would, every Sunday, my mom's an amazing self-taught cook, and she, that's another thing I just thought was the cookbook. Mom, if you're listening, don't forget, you have to do the cook.
Got to do the cookbook.
Don't forget, you guys supposed to do the cookbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, she's a self-taught cook, and we always get together on Sundays. But like every typical Italian family, or I should say that was wrong of me to say. But now, because not every family gets together on Sunday, or not, but
not like they used to, yeah.
Not like they used to, and due to COVID,
Yeah.
Prior to COVID, my family would get together every Sunday, wherever it was, and then so even when we did filming, that still transcended into it, where viewers got a chance to live vicariously through us, and they got a chance to let me straighten my chair here. Viewers got a chance to have dinner with us, or they got a chance to to see into our lives what my mom was cooking in the kitchen. So, you know, it was kind of cool in a way that that you know what was happening truthfully in our lives, fans got a chance to see on television. Obviously, due to production time and things like that, you can't put everything on TV.
No.
So, you know, some of the life experiences that we may have filmed didn't make it to camera, or didn't make it to production. But you know, we did a lot of cool things. You know, from my sister's engagement party, which then transposed it, which went further down to say yes to the dress for her wedding. We did her engagement party. We went into a sleepaway camp. It was I think, forget what year it was. It might have been the 30th anniversary for some DVD release party. As she took the family to the movie theater, you know, we all got popcorn, and I actually watched their faces. I remember sitting there looking at the thing as they were watching Sleepaway Camp up on the, you know, in the movie theater, and once again I was gay. No, sorry, rewind. I was no.
Freudian slip.
No way. Yeah, no. That was funny. But anyway, no. What I'm saying is, I was straight when we were filming, and I think the producers, they wanted me to come out and be like, oh, you know what, I'm gay. But I'm like, I probably should have. But I was like, oh, you know, we'll wait till season 2, and then we never did so. But then it came out on boot camp. But when I remember taking my family to see Sleepaway Camp in the movie theater, we were filming the Sorrentinos. It was like the first time I got a chance to see like their faces, you know, like, wow, like they grew up just maybe seeing bits and pieces of the film, but the core of Sleepaway Camp is really, brother and sister, and their secret, Angela is who you thought was a girl is really a boy, so, it's a, when you think about that film, was really ahead of its time because, that came out in the early 1980s. It was really like a transgender film when you think about it. Where that's really what it is. It's really transgender. It's Angela, has, a penis, because through the speedboat accident, you don't realize, one child, twins, one child lives and one child passes away. Well, so you think so. I don't want to give away Robert's remake of it, but it's really transgender film, and I thought about it like a while ago, where the film was really ahead of its time. But to see my family's face when we were filming the Sorrentinos, watching it in the movie theater, they were all like at the end, and then that's where I talked about different things with the director.
So how is everybody today? Is the family together? Are people in all different directions? Sometimes the weight of having your lives documented in the way that this has been in all these years really can add to the stresses of everyday life too, just in general ways. But when you got the spotlight on you, it can bring in a whole new perspective. How are things now, sort of?
That's a good question. So let me go back to this for a second. So that is a really good question of, how are things now? The best way I could put it to you is that, what you may Google or what you may read about in the press or whatever, it's true, but at the same retrospect, it's what I ponder about some every day, and I actually have to take a step back some days and go, you know what? It is what it is, where, I can't change the situation myself at this moment. Meaning, if they, if Michael doesn't want to speak to me, I don't, hey, it is what it is. Where, I was bringing him and Romeo and whatever gifts, and the police were called, and it all really did happen. But what I did not realize was happening was when it was all going down, I was on my way to the tanning salon to get a tan, and I was bringing him and the baby a gift, and I'm going, and all of a sudden the cops are called to his house. I'm going, I was like, hey guys, what are you guys here for? They're like, you. I'm like, what? They're like, you. And I was like, what did I do? And they were like, well, Michael said that you can't come to his house. I'm like, when did he say that? Long story short, anyway, all I can say is this. I love my brother. Love him, and my nephew and my sister-in-law. I just, there's got to be a breaking point where if I want a relationship with them, I can't see why they wouldn't want a relationship. If a week before that we coming to my house and we were having whatever it is, food together or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just like the light switch went off. I can't put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I think that's where a lot of fans, even myself, can't finish putting the pieces of this puzzle together. So I guess the only thing is time will tell. I mean, like, yeah, do I miss them? Of course I do. I didn't see them for Christmas. My house downstairs is still full of Christmas gifts. My family's like, oh, just send the gifts back. All right, yeah, sure. I'll send thousands of dollars of gifts back. Just send them back to the department store. Sure, no problem. So only time will tell.
Thousands of dollars worth of gifts. Did I mention that I'm your long lost cousin?
You know what? It's funny you say that. I actually it kills me inside to be like, I think to me the gifts are still sitting in my living room. It kills me inside to know that, okay, I picked out this sweater, whatever it may be, designer, whatever it might be, for my mother, my sister, my brother, and no one wants a gift. Okay, no one wants a gift. So now I'm thinking to myself, well, either I'm going to do one or two things. One, I'm going to ship them back to the department store. Due to COVID, it's a pain. It's more troublesome, or it's socially distanced. It's safer for everyone to just ship it back.
Yeah.
Or just being that they're still wrapped in plastic, I might donate everything to charity. I might turn a uncomfortable situation or a situation that's a little unanswered and turn it into a positive. I thought of that the other day. I might donate everything to charity, or is that just making it worse? I don't know.
Yeah.
Donating all their gifts to charity again.
Which is a beautiful thing if that's what you.
I think I might do that. Because it's either that or I'm going to ship the gifts to their house again. But they reiterated over and over again, we don't want gifts. We don't want anything. That's okay.
Yeah.
So this is the point where I'm sure we'll eventually get back together.
Yeah.
But this is the longest, if I want to call it, distance that we've ever had. And I'm such a, I personally, I want to get married. I want to, I still have to find, Prince Charming. I got to find the next Mr. Sorrentino. But, I want to get married. I want to have a shower. I want to, adoption and engagement party. All that's going to be coming up soon, and I want them to be part of it. So, if they don't, and I'm not saying that they don't accept me. I don't believe it's a gay thing. I don't believe so. And if it is, they haven't conveyed that to me. But I want them to be part of all these new life celebrations that I'm about to go through.
Absolutely. Yeah. So maybe if they're listening or watching, they'll hear that and maybe think about it a little bit. We've got some cool photos here. Look at this one. Now that goes back a little bit, huh? Are you in shock with that one? Can you hear us or did you freeze? He looks like he froze, doesn't he? Look like he was looking at the picture and his Wi-Fi. There was a little bit of a trickling sound with the audio. I think this was the filming during Blood Reservoir. There he is there. It looks like he's like mesmerized, right? I think his Wi-Fi is, the storm isn't here yet. That's not until Friday night into all day Saturday, but still. Here's another shot, gang. We could take a look at these and I'm sure he'll come back. Or, what sometimes happens is the guest's battery dies out on their laptop or their phone. Here's some other shots of Maximo. I mentioned he's also a luxury real estate agent too in the New York area as well. That's a cool shot. So yeah, involvement, of course, with Jersey Shore, the Sorrentinos, which that television series, and as I mentioned, a lot of other shows as well. This is really cool. The project that he was talking about, I think that's really fantastic. And we were talking about all the other things too he's involved in, which I think is absolutely awesome. Well, we'll tell you how you can get involved in that. Welcome
All
back.
right. Go on. Sorry.
We figured your battery might have died out, or a
Yeah,
cat jumped on your head or something. That
yeah, no,
happens sometimes.
technical difficulty there. I was like talking, and it's like almost like in his studio. I'm like this for a minute. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
what happened here? Yeah, the
we
lights
left
went
off
out.
looking at that from Blood Reservoir, huh?
Yeah,
That's a cool shot.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's why I said there's so many cool or life experiences. Oh yeah, that's why I did No Hate. I want to do another updated No Hate, but to awareness. Yep.
It's a cool shot too.
MTV
I mentioned
Awards,
too
yep.
also. Oh, that was the MTV Awards.
That's MTV Gay Course Deep South screening.
I mentioned also, in addition to all of this, you're also a luxury real estate agent as well, huh? Wow,
In
you got
New
your hands in
Jersey
everything.
and New York. Yeah, New Jersey and New York luxury real estate. So, what? It's the best thing I can explain to you is that you got to keep moving. You have to keep going. You have to keep yourself
Yes.
motivated. And I try. And it's sort of says it's like life is like what I've learned so far is like you gotta stay relevant and keep reinventing yourself.
Exactly.
And then that's and the next few chapters are a lot of charity and giving back.
Now, if people want to learn
More
more
than charity.
about this, is there a website or somewhere they can go to learn about this to buy these, or?
You know what? So, good question. So right now, it's just I do have a site that's under development. It's going to be on Maximos Sorrentino.com probably in a day or so, and then from there, then it's going to transcend over to a separate online store and a separate online page that's going to have the charity and everything linked up to it, and it's going to explain everything about. I don't know if we're going to talk about the Trevor Project yet. I think we're going to do a press release and everything once that goes live.
But for now, they can go there to MaximoSorrentino.com to
keep
abreast.
That will be up. I think tomorrow morning that will be up. Yep.
So keep an eye out for that, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and
you
then
can yeah, that's cool.
People will be able to. I got to tell you, that's probably I remember when I first took on this project for the bow ties. What kept driving me with this project was the message. The message is to give back. 100% give back to the LGBT community for whether it's education and or counseling services to help their loved ones. So that someone who's either lesbian, gay, or transgender or bi, so that they feel comfortable with themselves, whether they themselves need the education and or counseling, or if their family members need it, together, that they have an outlet or another way to help them feel comfortable about themselves. So. It's just something that when I was going through it, I wish I thought of that, or there was times that I felt less of a person or inadequate because I was gay. Now I think back of it, I'm like thinking to myself, wait a minute. I lost so much time of my life living in fear. I said, you know what? I'm not going to let anybody live in fear. I'm not going to let a person live in fear due to their sexual preference. So that's my driving force for this new new clothing line. And like I said, if it could help just one person feel more comfortable, then I could stop right there. But I don't know if we're gonna stop right there, but we're gonna keep
That's
going.
really cool. That's really awesome. Wanted to let you
Yeah.
know there was somebody joining us that wanted to say he enjoyed himself tonight. Mr. George Burns is in the house.
So man, I like that. Look at that little George Burns there.
He's got a cigar and his hanky. He's he looks like he sells luxury real estate, doesn't he?
Very, very, very.
Yeah, he usually pops in towards the latter part as well. And this was really, really cool. I think you froze again, but at least when he freezes with a smile, right? Let me show you that.
Is it working?
Oh, yeah, there you are. You're back now. Yeah. No, can you hear me now?
Is it my Wi-Fi? Is it my Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just sort of like, it happens.
That's great. Thank you, Verizon. Thank you, Verizon Fios.
Yeah.
But well, listen.
This was
Jim,
awesome.
Thank you very, very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And Maureen in Arizona says, Maximo, may everything you give and do for others come back to tenfold. And she's in Arizona, and Merlin in Canada. I wish you all the success in the world, Maximo. Jen says, Maximo, you're now Jim Master Showlovity, which is really, really cool.
Jim, thank you.
Dwight wants to know, where did the middle name Gianfranco come from? Cool middle name. Man.
Oh, thank you. So, listen, I told you my life's an open book. You know, I could go on for 20 seasons here. But
we'll have to have you come back for part 2, right?
There's no shortage of drama here, and real life stories. But where the Gianfranco. So when I did the name change, when we were filming the Sorrentinos, Frank, was my father. And obviously, so his father was Frank, and my father was Frank, and then his grandfather. I mean, there was so many Franks. It was like
Junior. Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I came up with Maximo because I was like, you know what? Victim of identity theft. I want to be my own person, my own identity, my own everything. And Marc was an M, Michael was an M, Melissa was an M, the dog M, Moses was an M. So I was like, you know what? I should have been an M. So I came up with a unique name anyway. The Gianfranco had to keep the Frank somewhere in it.
Yeah.
So it's more like a nickname. So I picked Gianfranco and that's where it stayed. And that's
true to form. You have all the names ending in a vowel: Maximo Gianfranco Sorrentino.
100%, the most Irish name you've ever heard.
Right. You'd have to put the O in front. O Sorrentino. Yep. O Maximo.
Yeah, right. So, right.
This was awesome, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, really? And again, folks can check out, this will be available tomorrow. But again, if you watch this 3 months from now, this will already be up and running. The website to check out all the cool things that Maximo is doing. We'll keep the porch light on for you. You're welcome back anytime. Spread the word about the Jim Masters show. We would love if you spread the word. This was so cool.
Jim,
yeah.
I'm going to tell everyone to check out your show every single week.
Cool.
I got to say thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for your great show, and I'd love to come back again.
We will definitely welcome back. I hope this show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I did with you, Maximo.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Oh, you got cut off there a little bit. Were you saying anything of?
No, I just. I know, right? I said, thank you so much. Good evening.
My father, I say this on this show, but I've said it for years. My father has always said, whenever anybody says something nice to you, ask them to put it in writing and address it management.
I like that.
That's it.
I'm putting my tweets together for you. I'm going to tweet out to fans that they got to check out the show.
That's my father's Irish humor, originally from Astoria.
Oh,
Astoria. Yeah. Around the block from Tony Bennett. He knew Tony growing up. Yeah. Cool stuff. All right, Maxwell, this was really cool. Thanks for all the time, really, and I
Oh,
wish you lots of
thank you very much.
success with everything
Thank
going
you.
forward. And let's definitely stay in touch. Hopefully, maybe at some point, we'll get together. We're in the tri-state area,
Absolutely.
so have to try some of that
Thank you very.
wine. I'm thirsty
Yeah, you
already.
know what? I was just about to say to you, I'm going to send you once we have more production for the ties. I'm going to get your information from my publicist Lisa, and I'll send you some ties. Whether you wear it, for you can go
Sure.
to a black tie fair, or we're
Sure.
going to do like a style how you wear it, so show
Yes.
people how they can just wear it in a pair of jeans. So
That sounds cool. I'm gonna have to sip some of that wine too, because you got me thirsty.
I'll say
It's
wine,
like,
candles. I
oh
got
my
everything going
God.
on. So,
He's got the gifts in the
Jim,
living room. That's
you
it.
know what? You want to, yeah. But thank you again, my friend. Wonderful, wonderful show.
Absolutely. Maureen says, stay safe and God bless Maximo. And Jen
God bless.
says, Jen is in Pennsylvania. Jim, can we have Maximo back soon? I love him. Absolutely. Kathleen in New York City, in Queens. Thanks for being here with us, Maximo. And cool stuff. Thanks, Lovedies, for your comments throughout as well. You be well, my
Thank you so
friend.
much,
And
guys.
it was a pleasure. You take care now, okay?
Thank you so
Cheers.
much. Be well. Stay blessed. Thank
You
you.
too. All right. Maximo Gianfranco Sorrentino, right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Maximo Sorrentino is the website to check out more about all the product and all the other things that he's doing. That'll be up by tomorrow. Again, for those of you who are watching live, but if you're watching this again, a week from now, 3 weeks from now, 6 years from now, hopefully we all look the same 6 years from now. You then can go right to that website. And probably there'll be some more updates too, as far as some of the other things that he's working on. Very, very cool. What's cool about it is you've probably, maybe you saw him involved with Jersey Shore, and then the Sorrentinos, and then all these other films and the off-Broadway production and all these other cool things that he's involved in. And it was great to go a little bit behind the scenes, the backstory of his life, his passions. He's an open book, like he said. His family pretty much always has been too. And he's very expressive and passionate about what he does. And that's very cool. So you got a chance to sample that in ways that are not like a typical interview. And there's a lot of people out there doing like interviews. We have conversations here. We go deeper. There's a lot of expression involved, warmth, levity. We don't just ask a question and then have an answer and ask a question and just, drool over the whole situation. We get into some really good heart of the matter conversations here with, the posh and panaz and all the rest as well. But you guys are all involved. And I think that's what's really, really cool. Maureen says, wow, Jim, this conversation really touched my heart. What a wonderful guy Maximo is. Thanks for having him in Lovely Hall. My pleasure as well. We'll have him back too. Can't wait to try that wine. That sounds good. I'm thirsty already. Thank you, Lisa, as well. Absolutely my pleasure. Always wonderful when you're here. And Dwight, I know, Dwight, you had a good time as well. You're a fan. You have followed Maximo's work on television and elsewhere over the years as well, which I think is really, really cool. And gang, I have to tell you, I don't know if you've looked at our YouTube channel where we have previews of what's coming up, but man, do we have extraordinary guests that are coming up. On Saturday afternoon, we have humorous. Now, that's as long as the snowstorm doesn't take us all out, because she's up in Massachusetts and Cape Cod, and they're going to get buried in snow there. We're going to get hit here too. Humorous, stress expert, PBS host, author, and dear friend Loretta LaRoche is returning to the Jim Master Show Live. If you didn't know she was with us, boy, we had a hilarious time. She is funny as heck. And we talk about all the craziness of life and the stress of life and how to get through everything. She's an expert. She's been doing this for years. She's with us, scheduled for 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific this Saturday. Then Saturday night, vocalist, composer, and arranger, the extraordinary Lauren Smith is with us live, is going to perform live. That is this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I know you guys are very excited that my buddy from Celtic Thunder and Vernon Kelly is making his third return visit to the Jim Masters Show Live. It's amazing. So many of our guests already ask, when can I come back? They just really enjoy the environment, the way we do the show. We don't rush through things. It's not just selling stuff. We have a really good time with each other and with all of you. Neil Byrne from Vernon Kelly and Celtic Thunder is going to be with us on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. in Ireland. On Monday, the cast of the incredible on-air radio drama, The Cast of Around the Sun, they're going to be with us. A couple of the members and producer from the cast of Around the Sun, which is a very popular radio drama podcast. They're going to be with us on Monday. Yes. And then John Michael Ferrari, remember he was going to be with us the other night this week, but he was a little under the weather. He is back with us, or going to be joining us Tuesday. Live Tuesday. He's going to perform live as well. That's this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Then we have extraordinary Lord of the Cello. That's how he's been described. Award-winning cellist Marston Smith is going to be with us. He also played Sarek in Star Trek: The Next Generation. In Star Trek, he played the cello. He's worked with them all. He has worked with some of the greats. He's been on albums with some of the greats. Top stars and so much more. We're going to talk about all of that. Also next week, multi-award winning composer and lyricist Scott Evan Davis is going to be with us. That's right. That's going to be on Wednesday. On Thursday, my buddy David Gear. Yes, he was also Frank Meltzer in Gossip Girl. He's an extraordinary Hollywood film producer and actor. He's joining us as well. Next weekend, we're excited to announce from Celtic Woman, beautiful violinist, singer, and harpist Tara McNeil is going to be with us live from Ireland. She's one of the newer members of Celtic Woman. She is going to be with us. We're very, very excited about that. That is next weekend. Again, this is for those that are watching live. If you watch this later on, all these things may have already happened. Just look at our YouTube channel to scroll through and see all the episodes, over 600 episodes of our series. Coming up in February, George Hutton. Yes, Irish singer, songwriter, lyric, tenor, and actor, live and direct from Ireland. He's making a return visit to the Jim Masters Show Live. This is his second visit. Check that out. That's going to be on February 27th, which is really exciting. It's going to be an afternoon show for us here, 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. in Ireland, February 27th. Also, if you didn't know that Barry Livingston, who played Ernie Douglas on My Three Sons, was on our show recently, check that episode out on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We had an epic and thorough conversation together, and really, really amazing. As well, you can see the tribute that I did to celebrate the life of Ronnie Spector, dear family friend of ours, extraordinary person, lead singer of the Ronettes, founder of the Ronettes, who passed 12 days ago. And we did a very special tribute with some personal photos and more. The Pointer Sisters were here. Melissa Manchester was on this show, and so many more. And now tonight, our friend Maximo, yes, reality TV star, actor, and luxury real estate agent, clothing line, wine line, bow ties, and all, right here on the Jim Masters Show live. Yes. Isn't that cool? We love it. You guys are the best. We're going to wrap. And thank you very much. Hey, we've got a super sticker here, super chat from Kathleen Walker, New York City. We love you, Kathleen. Great show, Jim. Thank you. Kathleen, we're going to have a busy spring because we need to get together. We need to get out and, get into the city. Well, you're already in the city, and start exploring and go out to eat and all. I'll put that $2 into the kitty for that. Actually, it would probably take care of one of the light bulbs in our lighting. One of our other major lights burned out the other day. So we got to get a new additional light. So we'll put that right in. That goes right into production. When you're watching us live and you're chatting in chat, there's something called super emojis, super stickers, and all of that. And that is something that our channel and YouTube makes available to our lovities, our viewers, when they're chatting, and that helps support our show. So thank you very much, Kathleen. You're the best. I love the way you just let them tell their stories. Merlin, yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm a deep listener. I'm always learning. Some people who are on air, who are journalists, hosts, interviewers, whatever, and I've done all those things, they make it about themselves instead of about all of us. It's about me. It's about you. It's about the guest. We're all learning. So when I'm hosting, whether it's this show or it's on radio or television or wherever it may be, I always let the guests express themselves, and I always try to create a warm environment for them to do that. I don't rush them through. I don't force them to do anything. We don't have any questions prepared. We just go with it. Some of my professional work, there are questions prepared and it's all scripted and things of that nature. Some of it, news programs and things. But with this kind of environment, I just like to really let it roll and see where it goes. And I think, I'm a deep listener too. I'm really listening because I'm learning as I'm listening and asking questions as well. Take care, Jim and everyone. Upper East Coast keeping. Yes, there is that big nor'easter that's coming. It's going to be a wallop for all of us here. And looking forward to all the amazing guests. Have a great night. Good night, all, and hugs. And that was just scratching the surface. All day today, we were working on all the guests and getting everything sort of, all the loose ends tied up. And I was on the air earlier today in my professional work. So, always working hard to entertain all of you and inspire you guys and have a good time with all the breadth of and the scope of guests we have that come in from all around the world. Jen says, I love you, Jim and Lovities. We love you back. We love you back. You're in the burbs. LOL. Can't wait to get to the city with you. I have to message you and update you on some stuff. Yes, do that. Absolutely do that. Keep me abreast of what is going on in your life, Kathleen Walker. And again, thanks for that super chat you did. That really, really helps us big time. Hey, gang, don't forget, if you haven't, we would love it. And it really does help us when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click that red button. There's no cost for it. The red button you see right there in the upper right-hand corner of our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And don't forget to click like if you enjoyed this episode and all the episodes. Click like. There's a little thumbs up icon there that says like. That helps us. YouTube likes to see that as well. And leave a comment on the actual YouTube channel underneath this episode. We love that. We try to respond to that as much as possible as well. And if you're watching this later in the archives and you want to help the show and support the show, subscribing does that, liking, commenting. There's also a little heart button that says thanks. So if you didn't get a chance to do super chat, super stickers, but you want to help support the series that we work so hard for here, there's a little thing you can do after the fact on YouTube. It's a little heart that says thanks, and that allows you to show support that way as well. And some of you have been doing that, and we thank you for that as well. All of it helps. We thank Maximo, and we thank all of you. You guys are the best. We always have a good time when we're here. Sometimes things get a little crazy, like if a guest is late or the guest is ill, or we had a little of that this week. But we always work to make sure that everything happens according to plan. And Maureen wants to come back east and get to New York City to hang with us. Okay, Maureen, we'll keep that apple polished for you. The Big Apple, we'll keep that polished for you. And you're welcome back maybe once we're past all the winter weather, I guess, right? Or we can come to Arizona and you could take us to Sedona. That's one place that I want to go to, and I want to go to Santa Fe, New Mexico. I've been to Albuquerque on a TV shoot. I have not been to Sedona, and hard to believe, right, with all the travel I do. I haven't been to Sedona, and I have yet to be to Santa Fe. I have friends that live in Santa Fe, friends that live in Sedona, and they love it there. They love it. They absolutely love it. And I'm coming at you as soon as the weather is better. And are you guys fighting over the cool chair that Maximo was in? That awesome chair that you guys were fighting over? I think was Maureen. Was it you and Jane in Sweden that were fighting over the chair, or did one of you? That was a cool chair, wasn't it? That's what I said when I was chatting with him before we went live on the air. I was telling him how cool that chair was that it was in. It does look like a video game chair. Come to Louisville, Kentucky. All right, we're going to have to take the Jim Master Show live on the road, I guess, huh? JMS on the road, visiting with all the lovities. Do you cook? You guys cook? We'll have to, have a bite to eat when we come visit everybody. All right, gang, this was terrific. We're overdue for one of our host chat levity shows. For those of you watching, we also do shows where it's me and the viewers, and we're chatting back and forth in sort of like rapid fire pace. And we're overdue for that. We've just been so busy with these shows, my professional work, but we will get that going. And again, reminding you on Saturday afternoon, Loretta is here. And the Saturday night, Lauren is here. It's going to be amazing. And then Sunday, Neil Byrne from Celtic Thunder is going to be here as well. So cool things that are happening here at the Jim Master Show Live. But don't forget, you can go back and watch some 600 episodes too. There's so many guests. I've been scrolling back too. Like, boy, I forgot about that show. I forgot that guest was on, because we pump out so much content continuously for all of you here on the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series on YouTube. So Jane said you guys aren't going to fight over Maximo's chair. He's going to probably find a way to build a chair and make it part of his collection, the Maximo collection. All right, gang, you guys have a good night. If anybody's in the path of the storm, hopefully it'll go easy on you guys. And thanks for being here. We love all of you, whether you're watching live or watching this in the archives. It's always a pleasure when you're here watching the Jim Masters Show. We thank you very much for the time and, again, all the attention and all the great sharing of the links on your Facebook pages, your Instagram, and your Twitter. Keep doing that and spread the word, share the levity about the Jim Masters Show Live. We love all of you. Take care. Be well. We'll see you again on the next one. I'll be waiting for you. I hope you can join us on the Jim Masters Show Live. Take care and be well. Cheers.